जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी, जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी, यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन, आनंदन व्रज जन यमुना तीरावनचारी, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Madhava Radha Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Om Vishnupad Brahmsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotar Satasya Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Samasta Gaura Bhaktarvrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you to today's Bhakti Vaibhava class. So, in yesterday's class, we discussed third chapter, three kings, Privrata, Agnidra, and Nabhi. So, we have seen some details about these three kings and also their bhakti. So you have to write in. So 15 marks question. You should analyze the devotion of each king, and so devotional aspects just you should show. So what kind of devotion they are doing. So merits and demerits of their devotion you should write. In the case of, yes, Agnidras, we have discussed how he was. And also today we are going to discuss some details about the Nabi also. Of course, Nabi was initially Sakama, and then after that, so he got the perfection. Those details you should gather from this chapter also. And also about the Privrat, we have seen a lot of discussion. Like this, in future also, whoever is going to come, you have to analyze the devotion of that devotee. In future, we are going to get Rishpadev, Bharata Maharaj, Jada Bharat. So like this, so many characters are going to come. Every character devotion you should write, compare. Okay, this will be the you could have done like that for previous cantos also, but at least we have 2 cantos in our hand. We'll do that. Okay, today we will finish this 4th chapter, and also we enter into the 5th, and we may try to finish at least 10 slokas, or otherwise 8 slokas, at least 8 to 10. So this is the target for today's class. And yes, 4th chapter. So the chapter is the characteristics of Rishpadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the chapter's title. We have seen in the 3rd chapter, Nabi, so by the benediction of the Supreme Lord, so Supreme Lord gave benediction to him that he himself is going to appear as a son for him. So Nabi's wife, who is Nabi's wife? Meru Devi. So Meru Devi, in the womb of Meru Devi, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Rishpadev appeared. And we are going to discuss his characteristics in this chapter, in the 4th chapter. To be frank, there is no commentary at all on these slokas. Only just this chapter. Almost all negligible. So quickly, we'll read the translations and maybe some points from purport, and we'll finish this. Okay, then we'll enter into the 5th chapter, which is having some commentary and also very important teachings of Rishpadev. That chapter is quite important. Many times Srila Prabhupada uses those texts, those verses in his lectures also. So that's why we'll focus a little bit on that more, and we'll finish this. Okay, we all together will read because it is Gadya. So if it is Padya, we could have asked you to repeat, follow, but now we'll do that together. Together we'll recite each text. Sri Shuka Uvacha Ataha Tam Utpatyaiva Abhivyajyamana Bhagaval Lakshanam Samyopashama Vairagyaishwarya Mahavibhutibhir Anudinam Edhamananubhavam Prakrutayah Praja Brahmana Devataschhavanitala Samavanayatitaram Jagruduhu. Aganjan Krishna Prabhu. Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, as soon as the Lord was born as the son of Maharaj Nabi, he manifested symptoms of the Supreme Lord, such as marks on the bottoms of his feet, the flag, thunderbolt, etc. The son was equal to everyone and very peaceful. He could control his senses and his mind, and possessing all opulences, he did not hunger for material enjoyment. Endowed with all these attributes, the son of Maharaj Nabi became more powerful day after day. Due to his, the citizens, learned brahmanas, demigods, and ministers wanted Rishabhadev to be appointed as the ruler of the earth.
Yes. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss Putra Shatakam Bharata Prabaram Prabhu Janayitva. In this, we are going to see Vrishbadev is going to get how many sons? 100 sons. Vrishbadev. Nabi is having only one son. That is Vrishbadev. And Agnidra is having how many sons? 9 sons. And Privrata, 10 sons. 10, 9, 1, 100. So this is the sequence. 10, 9, 1, 100. So in this chapter, we are going to see Bharata Maharaj, Vrishbadev is going to get 100 sons and he will be giving his. Vrishbadev was ruling which kingdom? What is the kingdom of the Vrishbadev? Huh? Vrishbadev. Nabi was ruling which? Bharata Varsha. And same thing is given to Vrishbadev. So that means, so Privrata is having the entire Bhumandala. So then by using his chariot, he made that into 7 islands. 7 islands are given to 7 sons. In that, oldest son is Agnidra. So for Agnidra, the center one, Jambu Dvipa, is given. So Agnidra is having 9 sons and he divided that into 9 varshas. So in that, eldest one is Nabhi. So to Nabhi he gave Bharata Varsha. So, and in that, so but Nabhi is having only one son, that is Rishabhadev. So that's why he will give the same thing to him. And then that is given to whom? That Bharata Varsha, Bharata Maharaj. By the name of Bharata Maharaj, it got the Bharata Varsha. But previous name is what? Ajanabha. Ajanabha. So Bharata Varsha's older name is Ajanabha, because Nabha means Nabhi, Aja means Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev and Nabhi both ruled. So that's why that is known as Ajanabha. And once Bharata Maharaj took the same thing, and he was the emperor of Bharata Varsha, so that's why on his name it is known as Bharata Varsha. Bharata Maharaj's name, on Bharata Maharaj's name, it got the Bharata Varsha actually. Okay. Huh? No. Maybe in another Puranas might be, but okay. So Sukadev Goswami is saying that this Rishabhadev is the supreme personality of the Godhead himself, and as much as he's growing, all his magnanimous qualities were manifesting, and all the people in the society, Brahmanas, Devatas, everyone is waiting to see him as a throne king, actually king, as their king. In these days of cheap incarnations, it is very interesting to note the bodily symptoms found in an incarnations. From the very beginning of his birth, it was observed that Rishabhadev's feet were marked with the transcendental signs, a flag, thunderbolt, lotus flower, and so on. So, in addition to this, as the Lord began to grow, he became very prominent. He was equal to everyone. He didn't favor one person and neglect another. An incarnation of God must have the six opulences: wealth, strength, knowledge, beauty, fame, and renunciation. It is said that although Rashpadev was endowed with all opulences, he was not at all attached to material enjoyment. He was self controlled and therefore liked by everyone. Due to this, due to his super excellent qualities, everyone wanted him to rule the earth. Okay. And next, an incarnation of God has to be accepted by experienced people and by symptoms described in the Shastras. In the case of Prithu Maharaj, also we have seen same way. So when Prithu Maharaj appeared, so Brahmaji was seeing the various signs and he approved. So he is having the signs of Supreme Lord as said in the Shastras. That's why Prithu has to be glorified as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Brahmaji authenticated, then everyone followed. Same way here also. We have to see the signs. Otherwise, God, becoming God is not so cheap. Nowadays, we can see so many gods. Next, tasya hava ittam varshmana variyasa bruhatslokena chaujasa balena sriya yashasa virya sauryabhyam cha pita rishabha itidam nama chakara. Radha Govardhan Prabhu. Acha. Sorry, Prabhu. Actually, these unmute. Bhai chale gaye.
Hare
हाँ.
When the son of Maharaj Nabi became visible, he evinced all good qualities described by the great poets, namely a well-built body with all the symptoms of the Godhead, prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, influence, and enthusiasm,
Enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. When the father Maharaj Nabi saw all these qualities, he brought his son to be the best of human beings or the supreme being. Therefore, he gave him the name Rishava.
Yeah, write the question. Why Rishabhadev got or why Rishabhadev is given that name? 2 marks. Why he was given the name of Rishabhadev? Rishabha means what? Sreshtam. Rishabha means excellent, best. Because his body is very well built and also is having this so much power and strength, beauty, name, fame, influence, and enthusiasm. By seeing all this, his father gave the name Rishabhadev. Next. यस्य हीन्द्रः स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्षा तदवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहस्यात्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षम् अजनाभं नामाभ्य वर्षा. वर्षत. Okay, translation. Now, Radha Govardhan Prabhu.
Correct, sir.
Yes, Prabhu.
Indra, the king of heaven, who is very materially opulent, became envious of King Rishabdev. Consequently, he stopped pouring water on the planet known as Bharatvarsh. At that time, the Supreme Lord, Rishabdev, the master of all mystic power, understood King Indra's purpose and smiled a little. Then, by his own prowess, through Yoga Maya, his internal potency, he profusely poured water upon his own place, which was known as Ajanab.
Yes. Write one more question. Why Ajinabha Varsha got that name? Why? 1 mark. So Indra was competing with Rishabhadev. Always he has enviousness. Many times we have seen many stories. Indra was having enviousness, some kind of. So that's why he started competing with the Supreme Lord, Rishabhadev. And he didn't pour the rains in Ajnaba Varsha or Bharata Varsha. So then Rishabhadev, what he did for that? How he reacted? He laughed. Acha, you don't want to pour rains in our Varsha? No problem. By using Yoga Maya, by Yoga Maya, that means by his internal potency, Swavarsham Ajanabham Namabhya Varshat. That means Abhya Varshat. So he poured the rains by using his own internal potency. That's a Yoga Maya. Okay, just here the power of the Vrashvadev. One example is given here about his power. Okay, why Ajnaba got that name? Aja means Rashbadev, Nabha means Nabi. Since that Varsha was ruled by both, so Rashabhadev and Nabhi, that's why that name was given Ajanabha. Okay. Next. We find the word Bhagavan used twice in this verse, both King Indra. So for Indra also Bhagavan is used, both, and also for the Rishabhadev Bhagavan is used. What is the difference between these two usages? In the case of Rishabhadev, Bhagavan word is used in Mukhya Artha. And in the case of Indra, Bhagavan word is used in Gauna Artha. Write the question. What is Mukhya Artha of a word, and what is Mukhya Artha and Gauna Artha of a word? Give an example from SB 5.4.3. Gaunartha means, you know, na? Secondary meaning. That word is not carrying the secondary meaning, main meaning, but secondary meaning. So by seeing some features of that main meaning, and if those are there in any another object, you can use the same thing. For example, yes, here Bhagavan word is there. Bhagavan means the one who is having the 6 opulences. You should write like this. Bhagavan means, the meaning of Bhagavan means the one who possesses Bhaga, means 6 opulences. Those, you know, all Aishwaryam, Viryam, so and so. You're making sound. This is, go down. Okay, Bhagavan word meaning is this. Okay. Anyone who is having all these 6 opulences in full extent, he is known as Bhagavan. But anyone is having these opulences in some portion, and for him also the Bhagavan word is used, but it is in secondary meaning, in Gaunartha. Like that you should write. Prabhupada, anywhere Varsha, rains, if you see, he will write in his purport, Yagnat Bhavati Parjanya. This, and also Sankirtan Yagna is the recommendation for this Kali Yuga to get the whatever you want, rains. This is obvious. This is the thing is explained in this. Please go through that. Next, 4th. Nabhistu yathabhilashitam सुप्रजस्त्वम् अवरुध्याति प्रमोदभर विह्वलो गद्गदाग क्षरया गिरा स्वैरं गृहीत नरलोक सधर्मं भगवन्तं पुराण पुरुषं माया विलसितम् अतिवर्त्स तातेति सानुरागम् उपलालयन् परां निवृत्तिम् उपगतः. भावग्राही प्रभु.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Jagannath.
Yeah.
Due to getting a perfect son according to his desire, King Nabi was always overwhelmed with transcendental bliss and was very affectionate to his son. It was with ecstasy and a faltering voice that he addressed him. My dear son, my darling. This mentality was brought about by Yogamaya, whereby he accepted the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Father, as his own son. Out of his Supreme God will, the Lord became his son and dealt with everyone as if he were an ordinary human being. Thus, King Nabi began to raise his transcendental son with great affection, and he was overwhelmed with transcendental bliss, joy, and devotion.
Transcendental joy and devotion. So see, in his house, Nabi's house, Supreme Lord himself is presenting, and he is seeing every day the glories of Rishabhdev are spreading everywhere, and by seeing this, Nabi is going to every day more and more ecstasy and joy. Wow. If someone have Supreme Lord himself as a son, then what they need. So that means the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Father became now his son. That's why he is overwhelmed out of his supreme goodwill. Why Nabi got Rishabhdev as son, Supreme Lord as son? What he did? In Puranas, you do research and find out the reason. Why Nabi got? What is the reason? What he did in previous? What kind of sadhana he did to get Supreme Lord as son? We should read the Bhagavatam also in reference of other Puranas, other remaining stories, pending stories. That's very important, but we don't have that much time. Even for teacher doesn't have, students also. Students forget. They want to finish. Finish everything. By research, by hard work. Write this question. But this question is not an exam, but is a reference. Reference question. Write it. Can you keep? We need to research or not? Then only can analyze. Oh, Nabi did this kind of sadhana in the previous life or otherwise in this. Then, this is Agnidra's flashback, which is not explained in the Bhagavatam, but it is explained in another Puranas. Then you can correlate this. That means their bhakti nicely. You may get very little information in the Bhagavatam. And commentaries you can get little bit more, but proper way of doing is refer the other Puranas. Puranas bank is there with us. Take the other Puranas and search the Nabi word and see the story there, and whatever is Purana bank means all whatever 18 Puranas word files you can get. Gaudi Gandha Mandir is there. Gaudi Gandha Mandir are here and there. Many Puranas are there. So you just search the word Nabi, wherever it is matching, read their slokas, know the story, then make the full story. And then that is study. Bhakti vaibhava means. Yes or no? Because when you go to general audience and they will ask so many questions, who is Nabi or who is Agnidra, what they did in previous life, what they were, what is the other story, why they got. Of course, I am also not having that much information, but at least we should start. Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada what he doesn't know. He wanted everything. This kind of thorough research. So his father is so happy. The word Maya is used in the sense of illusion. Considering the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be his own son, Maharaj Nabi was certainly in illusion. But this was transcendental illusion. Like same illusion who was having? Mummy, mother, Ma, Na, Ma Devhuti. She was crying or not? Like how? Like a cow is missing his calf. So for missed calf, how the cow cries? Same way when Kapil Dev left her and so he went to Ganga Sagar. So she was lamenting like same way. But her lamentation was not at all materialistic. There was also written. It is transcendental because she is crying for Supreme Lord. Of course, his son, but he is Supreme Lord. Object is same. Son and Supreme Lord are same. So that's why her lamentation became transcendental. Same way here also, joy. Here Nabi is getting the joy. It is also transcendental joy. If you have joy for your son, material son, then it's illusion. And if you have joy for your Supreme Lord, then it is transcendental illusion. Yeah, we have seen there's a 46th chapter in the 10th canto. So Uddhava, when he comes back, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, so they were also crying for his son. How they were crying. They stopped eating. They stopped cooking. Their kitchen, how it was, completely all. So the vessels here and there, they're thrown full of dust. Completely not at all used for the months and months, years. And no, that means nothing is prepared. Mother Yashoda from the 24 hours crying. Nanda Maharaj is completely collapsed. And no grazing cows, nothing. Only, so some Brahmanas, whatever sweet rice they make, so they used to give to him once in a day. So sometimes even he is not taking, and that kept there itself and in the pots, those dried pots like that, dried kheer is there. And he's keep on crying. And when Uddhava came and saw, it's completely, it's a house. Previously, when Krishna was there, the house, how it was flourished and so much joy, and everyone is so happy. And when Krishna left, so Vraj, then everything is completely no happiness in anyone's eyes. It was. That is affection for son. Hmm. What? The Supreme Lord appears as the son of one of his devotees, just as Lord Krishna appeared as the son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. These devotees could never think of their son as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for such appreciation would hamper their relationship of parental love. Aishwarya Bhava will not be there. They don't see so their son as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then if they see, then their love will be hampered. Next, Viditanu Mahaupara Prakriti Janapado Raja Naviratmajam Sama Ye Sutur say सेतुर अक्षायाम अभिषिंच्य ब्राह्मणोषु उपनिधाय सह मेरुदेव्या विशालायां प्रसन्न निपुणेन तपसा समाधि योगेन नरनारायणाख्यं भगवन्तं वासुदेवम् उपासेन कालेन तन्महिमान् महिमानम् अवाप. रविंद्र चैतन्य प्रभु.
King Nabhi understood that his son Rishabdev was very popular among the citizens and among government officers and ministers. Understanding the popularity of his son, Maharaj Nabhi enthroned him as the emperor of the world to give protection to the general populace in terms of the Vedic religious system. To do this, he entrusted him into the hands of learned Brahmanas who would guide him in administrating the government. Then Maharaj Nabhi and his wife Meru Devi went to Badrikashram in the Himalaya mountains, where the king engaged himself very expertly in austerities and penances with great jubilation. In full samadhi, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, who is Krishna in his plenary expansion. By doing so, in course of time, Maharaj Nabhi was elevated to the spiritual world known as Vaikuntha.
Okay. So you can see, you can add. So Nabhi's devotional life. So further, actually, from this sloka also you can take. So in the Nabhi's case, what happened actually? He went to Badrikashram and worshipped Narnarayana Rishis. So Rishabdev became very much popular and Nabhi understood that. So now it is a time to live. So we should understand this Grihasthashram is there for living. It's not for staying. So Grihasthas, so they has to, yes. Yeah, if the family is fully devotionalized, then fine. So even Grihastha life, Grihastha house is also like ashram, fully. But if sons and sons, daughter-in-laws, they are not devotees. You have sons, daughter-in-laws are not devotees, and they are always hitch-kitch. Better is what? Leave that. You leave that house and so come to. So come to means you should fully engage in the direct services of the Lord. Direct services of the Lord. That is the most important. So yeah, one should leave the attachment for the family. Leaving the attachment for the family is very important. It's not that the family life is eternally I will continue. And my wife and myself will be there in the Golok also together. Who knows who will go first and what happens? It's simply illusion actually. That means the attachment you should not be there. Why your wife only? We also with you. We all with you. Why you have to have specially only wife with you? That means you have some attachment. Why don't you take us also as your company? You should take. That's why it's not so easy to leave the attachment. Attachment will be continued in many ways. So Ajana, this Nabhi and his wife, so Meru Devi. So Meru Devi both went to this Badrikashram and they did the tapasya. So when Maharaj Nabhi saw that his son Rishabdev was popular with the general populace and governmental servants, he chose to install him on the imperial throne. In addition, he wanted to entrust his son into the hands of 11 Brahmanas. This means that monarch was supposed to govern strictly according to Vedic principles under the guidance of 11 Brahmanas. We could advise him according to the standard of Vedic scriptures like Manusmriti and similar Shastras. It is a duty of the king to rule the citizens according to the Vedic principles. Society has to be ruled based upon Manusmriti. Even it's not that the only in the another yugas, even in this yuga also, you should take the basic standard principles from the Manusmriti. Previously, it was like that only. Before Britishers attacked India, So are Muslimans. So India is like that only. It is conducted based upon the Manusmriti and or otherwise Parasmriti. Principles were taken from there. But after that, once our constitution is prepared, at that time, Manuvad, Sangavad se Ajadi, Manuvad se Ajadi. This was going on actually in the youth. Manuvad se Ajadi. Ajadi. Where it is, this slogan, you all heard this? In JNU, which is a hub for the politics, student politics, JNU. You know, JNU, Delhi. Don't know? Achha. So they want the India free from Manuvad. Manuvad means caste system. Caste system is dangerous. That's why Annihilation of Caste System is written by whom? This is a paper produced by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He wrote a paper, Baba. Bhimrao Ambedkar. What he wrote? Annihilation of Caste System. He wants to annihilate. He wants to see in the society caste system should be finished. Is it possible? Caste system. Caste means what? Divisions. Is it possible? Is it possible to annihilate all the divisions in the society? Is it possible? It's impossible. How it is possible? It's impossible. Because until there are three modes, still that. So if three modes are there, categories are obviously possible. In Kali Yuga, three modes are there or not? People are made with the three modes or other thing? Three modes only, na? Then if three modes, if we are all influenced by the three modes, our mind, our intelligence is made of three modes, our body is made up of three modes, then there is, obviously we are affected by the modes. Some are in the goodness, some are in the passion, some are in the ignorance, and some are in, so both passion and ignorance. Then we are having the divisions. Divisions possible now also or not? It's obviously possible. Obviously possible. And but you want to annihilate that. Annihilate that and make everything as one. Is it possible? Can you make man and female is one? Can you interchange the activities, duties? So bacha paida karenge man. Man will produce a child. He will carry 9 months. Make everything is one. Is it possible? No. Can you make that means worker class and so merchant class? So this capitalist, owner class. Even still classes are there or not? Even classes are there. In the present society, classes are there. So that's why if you see the way in the last 100 years the society evolved, the way the people's consciousness is affected, you should know that. It's very important to know. They want a society free from this, the basic Vedic principles, which is impossible actually, which is not at all a society, which is not called as a society. So that was going on actually. This is very bad for the society. Prabhupada is against, he declared war against all these people. All these Karl Marx, this Marx, that, these. So many these people came and they give the different shape to the society. They completely violated the principles, Vedic principles. And after that, constitution is made. And now all the countries are uniting based upon principles of what type of constitution they follow. Okay, India is following the constitutionalism, that's democracy, and British is also following democracy. Then we are one team. Like this. America is following presidential system, and someone is also following presidential system. Then we are all one. So in this way, now the people, the countries, they make the alliance, and they are ruling. They are ruling the world like this. But this is not the way of conducting the society. Prabhupada, that's why he wants to reform the society. Krishna conscious movement is meant for reformation of the whole society. It's not that only few temples we made and some brahmacharis and some Grihasthas. This is not. It's a reformation of entire society. And actually, society has to be conducted based upon the Vedic principles. That is Manusmriti. So that's why people has to be trained in this dharma. People has to be trained in this dharma. Dharma is in two features: Varnashram dharma and Bhagavad dharma. In these two, both ways, people has to be trained. It is a duty of the king to rule the citizens according to the Vedic principles. According to Vedic principles, society is divided into four categories: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Chaturvarnam, Maya, Srishtam, Gunakarma, Vibhasha. After dividing society in this way, it is the king's duty to see that everyone execute Vedic principles according to his caste. A Brahmana must perform the duty of Brahmana without cheating the public. It is not that one attains the name of Brahmana without qualification. It is the king's duty to see that everyone engages in occupational duty according to Vedic principles. In addition, retirement at the end of life is compulsory. Maharaj Nabi, although still a king, retired from family life and went with his wife to place called Badrikashram in Himalayas, where the deity Narayana is worshipped. The words Prasanna Nipunena Tapasa indicates that the king accepted all kinds of austerity very expertly and jubilantly. So Prabhupada is writing in every purport whenever he get the chance. So telling about this, dividing the society, and Brahmana, he should be a qualified Brahmana, not the caste Brahmana, just namesake Brahmana. So the words Prasanna Nipunena Tapasa indicate that the king accepted all kinds of austerity. And also he is indicating the leaders of the society. They want to be in the post and position till the death. Even the last minute, they want to be in the position. In the deathbed also, they want to be as a prime minister or as a president, they want to die as a chief minister. They don't want any retirement. But Prabhupada is mentioning, so retirement is needed. After at one stage, one has to retire from his position as a ruler. So, and he has to give the opportunity to the new people actually. Despite undergoing severe austerities and penances, he felt very pleased at Badrikashram and he did everything there expertly. In this way, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, always thinking of Krishna, Vasudeva, Maharaj, Nabi attained success at the end of his life. So you should note this line also. What happened to the Nabi at the end of his life? This is the way of Vedic life. This is the way of Vedic life. One must stop the process of repeated birth and death and return back to Godhead. The words Tan Mahimanam Avapa are significant in this regard. Srila Sridhar Swami says that Mahima means liberation in this life. We should act in such a way in this life that after giving up this body, we will become liberated from the bondage of repeated birth and death. This is called Jivan Mukti. Srila Veeraraghavacharya states that in the Chandogya Upanishad there are 8 symptoms of Jivan Mukti, a person who is already liberated even when living in this body. The first symptom of one so liberated is that he is freed from all sinful activity, apahata papa. As long as one is under the clutches of Maya in the material energy, one has to engage in sinful activity. Bhagavad Gita describes such people in Dushkritinaha, which indicates that they are always engaged in sinful activity. One who is liberated in this life doesn't commit any sinful activities. Sinful activity involves illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Another symptom of liberated person is Vijara, which indicates that he is not subjected to the miseries of old age. So like these symptoms are Vimrityu, next Vishoka, Vijigatsa, next Apipata. These are the 8 or 7. So different kinds of the symptoms of a Jivan Mukta. Satyakama. So he doesn't want anything else. He is Satya Sankalpaha. Whatever he desires is fulfilled by first of all, he doesn't desire anything for his material benefit. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that the word Mahima means returning to the spiritual world. what the main point Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport? So after ruling, after enjoying, one has to leave the life. That means his position, and go for the spirituality and practice spiritual life and get the success and come out from the repeated birth and death. This is the point. Okay, next. Yasyaha Pandaveya Sloka Udaharanti Konu Tatkarma Rajarsher Naber Anvacharet Puman Apatyatam Agadyasya Harishuddhena Karmana. O Maharaj Parikshit, to glorify Maharaj Nabi, the old sages composed 2 verses. One of them is this: who can attain the perfection of Maharaj Nabi, who can attain his activities. Because of his devotional service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead agreed to become his son. So people saw the glory of the Nabi. That means the fate, the luck, or one can say fate. The fate of the Nabi is so wonderful. He got the Supreme Lord as son, and also he got the salvation for his life. So that's why they have the, so previous people, they composed these 2 slokas on Nabi. Next sloka. Brahmanyonya kuto nabher vipra mangala pujita yasya brahmarshi yagnesham darshayama surojasa. The second prayer is this. Read. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Pranam Prabhu. The second prayer is this: who is a better worshipper of Brahmanas than Maharaj Nabi, because he worshipped the qualified Brahmanas to their full satisfaction. The Brahmanas, by their Brahmanical prowess, showed Maharaj Nabi the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, in person.
Yeah. So how Nabi got his son? Because he engaged Brahmanas for doing the yajna. Then after that, so they performed yajna and they got Vishnu's darshan. Because of his faith in Brahmanas, the way he worshipped Brahmanas, because of this, he got the darshan of the Lord. So that is also mentioned here. That means these Brahmanas brought the Supreme Lord in front of the Nabi. Prabhupada is writing that until unless one is Vaishnava, this Brahmana cannot call the Supreme Lord. So the Lord doesn't accept an invitation unless one is Vaishnava. Shat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha. Avaishnava guru nasyat Vaishnava swapacho guruhu. So Avaishnava cannot be a guru, Vaishnava only guru, even he is swapacha. Next, ataha bhagavan rishabhadevah swavarsham karma kshetram अनुमन्यमानः प्रदर्शित गुरुकुलवासो लब्धवरैर् गुरुभिर् अनुज्ञातो गृहमेधीनां धर्मानुशिक्षमाणो जयन्त्याम् इन्द्रदत्तायाम् उपयलक्षणं कर्म समाम्नायाम्नाताम् अभियुञ्जयन्नात्मज्ञान आत्मजानाम् आत्मसमानानां शतं जनयामास. This he got 100 sons. Sarvamangal Mataji. Huh? Huh? Network low. Acha. Is Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Jai.
Am I audible too?
Yes.
After Nabi Maharaja departed for Bhadragashrama, the Supreme Lord Rishabhadeva understood that his kingdom was his field of activities. He therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of a householder by first accepting brahmacharya under the direction of spiritual masters. He also went to live at the spiritual master's place, Gurukula. After his education was finished, he gave gifts, Guru Dakshina, to his spiritual masters and then accepted the life of a householder. He took a wife named Jayanti and begot 100 sons who were as powerful as qualified as he himself. His wife Jayanti had been offered to him by Indra, the king of heaven. Rishabdeva and Jayanti performed householder life in an exemplary way, carrying out ritualistic activities ordained by the Shruti and Smriti Shastra.
Yeah. So after his father left, so anyway, Rishabhadev is a supreme personality of Godhead, but still he went to Gurukul. So because he wanted to set the standards for the brahmachari life. And also, of course, he's the Supreme Lord. Just why he went? For others' sake, to set this example, set that means the Varnashrama duties, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and also Brahmachari, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. All these ashrams and their rules. So Rishabhadev perfectly followed and he set an example for the society. Only for others' sake. Janan pradarshita. Iti anyesham grahanaya. That means for others' sake only he did this. He went to Gurukul, then after that, so he entered into the married life. So whom he married? Jayanti. So she is gifted by, so Indra gave Jayanti as a gift to Rishabhadev. Okay, that's why Bharata Maharaj is also known as Jayanteya. Jayanti's son, Jayanteya. He is known as Jayanteya. Like Kunti's son Kaunteya, Jayanteya. And also after entering into the household life, he also set examples. That means all his lifestyle is really a very wonderful and exemplary. So he followed all the rules and regulations as said in Shruti and Smriti Shastras. Okay, next. Yesham kalu mahayogi bharato jeshtaha shreshta guna asid yenedam varsham bharatam iti vyapadishyanti. Sarveshwar Sham Sundar. Okay, he's in train. Okay. Sri Charan Prabhu.
Of Rishabdev's 100 sons, the eldest, named Bharata, was a great exalted devotee, qualified with the best attributes. In his honor, this planet has become known as Bharatavarsha.
Yes. Rishabhadev. So he's having the 100 sons. So among them, the eldest one is Bharataha. Shreshta gunaha asi. Enedam varsham bharatam iti vyapadishyanti. On his name, that varsha is known as Bharata Varsha. Because Ajinabaha is ruled once again after Rishabhadev by the Bharata Maharaj. And in that, there are small portions are there. Those are given to other 9 brothers. So like this is, so Bharata Maharaj was the emperor and he ruled very nicely. On his name, that Varsha got the name. So Srila Prabhupada is writing, one who has taken his birth as human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for benefit of all other people. Bharata bhumi te haila manushya janma yara janma sardak kari kara para upakar. So actually Bharatavarsha means, what do you say? Only from the Himalayas to Sri Lanka, this is Bharatavarsha. No. Bharatavarsha is a very bigger actually. In Bharatavarsha, this whole earth is Bharatakanda actually. In that Bharatakanda, we are simple. Actually, real Himalayas are there. Here, whatever Himalayas see, that is not the boundary of the Bharatavarsha. the boundary of the all the Bharatavarsha, so they are even different actually, very far. So sometimes we see Prabhupada is considering Bharatavarsha as complete, this Bharata Bhumi as. Will be that means you'll be seeing in the cosmology in a very detailed way. Those will be discussed, don't worry. Tamanu kushavarta ilavarto brahmavarto malayaha ketur bhadrasena indrasprug vidarbha kikata iti navanavati pradhanaha. Following Bharata, there were 99 other sons. Among these were 9 elderly sons named Kushavarta, Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indra, Spruk, Vidarbha, and Kitaka. These are the different places in Bharatavarsha. Those are given as, that means Bharata Maharaj was emperor, and these are all given to his brothers. That means Bharata Maharaj is the leader and he is having the 9 brothers. And 9 brothers are holding the different portions of that Bharatavarsha. Okay. And total 100, one is main one is Bharata Maharaj and 9 his brothers, elder brothers. That means those are all elder to others. And those 9 brothers plus 1, total 10. 10 became Kshatriyas. How many remaining? 90. In that 99 goes to Navayogendras, and remaining 81, they become Brahmanas, ritualistic Brahmanas. They will become. They will be the no. They will become ritualistic Brahmanas. Like this, total 100. So now we'll be seeing. Now 10 sons are over. One is Bharata Maharaj plus 9 Kshatriyas. So who followed Bharata Maharaj, and remaining 9, the Navayogendras will be seeing. Kavir Havir Antarikshaha Prabuddha Pipalayana Avirhotra Tadrumilas Chamasah Karavajanaha Iti Bhagavata Dharma Darshana Nava Maha Bhagavata Stesham Sucharitam Bhagavan Mahimopa Brahmitam Vasudeva Narada Samvadam Upashamayanu Varnayishyamaha. We'll read. Tapo my Prabhu.
In addition to this, songs were Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Parbuddha, Pipilayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Kamsa.
Chamsa, Kamsa nahi. Chamsa. Kamsa kahan se?
Samasha Karvajana. These were all very exalted, advanced devotees and authorized preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam. These devotees were glorified due to their strong devotion to Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they were very exalted. To satisfy the mind perfectly, I, Shukadev Goswami, shall hereafter describe the characteristics of these 9 devotees when I discuss the conversation between Narada and Vasudeva.
He is going to discuss in the 11th canto. So, Vasudeva and Narada. So their conversation, in that conversation, this topic will come. So that conversation, Sukadeva Goswami is going to discuss. That means full planning he is having. Sukadeva Goswami, in what day, what I should speak, everything is there in his mind. That's why Varnayishyamaha. I will explain to you. Yaviyam sa yekashitir jayante yaha pituradesha karaha mahashalina maha Srotriya Maha Yagnashilaha Karma Vishuddhaha Brahmanaha Vabuvuhu. Next.
In addition to these 19 sons mentioned above, there were 81 younger ones, all born of Rishabhadeva and Jayanti. According to the order of their father, They became well cultured, well behaved, very pure in their activities, and expert in Vedic knowledge and the performance of Vedic rituals. Thus, they all became perfectly qualified Brahmanas.
They became Brahmanas. So that's why caste is not based upon birth, but based upon quality. So one father and one mother, but they became different. Some became Kshatriya, some became Brahmanas. Next, Bhagavan Rishabam Sangya Atmatantraha Swayam Nitya Nivrutthanartha Paramparaha Kevalananda Anubhava Ishvara Eva Viparitat Vat Karmanyarabhamanaha Kalenanugatam Dharmam Acharenopadisha Shayannata Dvidada Vidam Sama Upashanto Maitra Karuniko Dharmardayasha Prajanandamruta Virodhena Gruheshu Lokam Niyamayat Chaitanya Jivan.
Being an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishabhadeva was fully independent because his form was spiritual, eternal, and full of transcendental bliss. He eternally had nothing to do with the four principles of material misery, birth, death, old age, and disease, nor was he materially attached. He was always equipoised and he saw everyone on the same level. He was unhappy to see others unhappy, and he was the well-wisher of all living entities. Although he was a perfect personality, the Supreme Lord and controller of all, he nonetheless acted as if he were an ordinary conditioned soul. Therefore, he strictly followed the principles of Varnashram Dharma and acted accordingly. In due course of time, the principles of Varnashram Dharma had become neglected. Therefore, through his personal characteristics and behavior, he taught the ignorant public how to perform duties within the Varnashram Dharma. In this way, he regulated the general populace in householder life, enabling them to develop religion and economic well-being and to attain reputations, sons and daughters, material pleasure, and finally eternal life. By his instructions, he showed how people could remain householders and at the same time become perfect by following the principles of Varnashram Dharma.
Right question. Describe the various qualities of Rishabhadeva. Discuss about various qualities of Rishabhadeva. Okay, these. Yes. How many marks? 5. Okay. Next, yad yad shirshanyacharitam tattadanuvartate lokaha. So whatever action, yad yad achariti sreshtaha tattadevetaro. Whatever action is performed by great men, common men follow. Rishabhadeva set example how to perform the duties in the Varnashram Dharma. Everyone followed him. So next, Yadyapi Swaviditam Sakala Dharmam Brahmam Guhyam Brahmanaihi Darshita Margena Samadhibhir Upayaihi Janatam Anushashasa. Putin bro. Putin, Hare. Vaneet. Everyone. Vladimir Putin. Because Putin is very famous now.
Although Lord Rishabhadeva knew everything about confidential Vedic knowledge, which includes information about all types of occupational duties, he still maintained himself as a Kshatriya and followed the instructions of the Brahmanas as they related to mind control, sense control, tolerance, and so forth. Thus, he ruled the people according to the system of Varnashrama Dharma, which enjoins that the Brahmanas instruct the Kshatriyas and the Kshatriyas administer to the state through the Vaishyas and Shudras.
Yes. Brahmanas instruct the Kshatriyas, Kshatriyas administer state by Vaishya and Sudras. This is a system. Next. Dravya desha kala vaya shraddha ऋत्विग विविधोद्देशोपचितैः सर्वैरपि क्रतुभिर् यथोपदेशं शतकृत्वा इयाजा. रंगमय प्रभु.
Although Lord Rishabdev knew everything about confidential Vedic knowledge, which includes information about.
कौन सा पढ़ रहा है? कौन सा पढ़ रहा है आप? बाबा?
Sorry. Lord Rishabdev performed
because he misguided. He told although you only. He misguided and he followed.
Lord Rishabdev performed all kinds of sacrifices 100 times according to the instruction of the Vedic literatures. Thus, he satisfied Lord Vishnu in every respect. All the rituals were enriched by first-class ingredients. They were executed in holy places according to the proper time by priests who were all young and faithful. In this way, Lord Vishnu was worshipped and the prasad was offered to all the demigods. Thus, the functions and festivals were all successful.
Yeah, how Rishabdev so conducted his ruling. You can see here, he performed all the yajnas 100 times. Whatever sacrifices are there, all 100 times. All rich, and he used best grains in each. Best ingredients he used. And also, they were executed. In holy places, those were executed. Like this, everyone in this way, Lord Vishnu was worshipped and the prasada was offered to all the demigods. Thus, the functional festivals were all successful. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport, a Vaishnava worships demigods in relationship Govinda, not independently. We all know how Brahmaji worshipped by the Vaishnavas in what way? As a Guru, Parama Guru. And Shiva is worshipped as, how we can, Shiva is worshipped as Vaishnava or Param Vaishnava or otherwise Adhisthana for the Lord or otherwise. As a Guru. One can worship Shiva also as Guru. Guru is nothing but the Supreme Lord, non-different from the Supreme Lord. So, like this. Bhagavatarshabhena parirakshmana yetasmin varshena kaschan purusho vanchitya avidyamana iva atmano anyasmat katham chana kimapi karhichid avekshate bhartaryanusavanam vijrumbita snehatishayamantarena. Swarnakanti Prabhu.
No one likes to possess anything that is like a willow the west or a flower in the sky. For everyone knows very well that such things do not exist. My Lord Rishabdev ruled this planet of Bharatavarsha. Even common men did not want to ask for anything at any times or by any means. No one ever asks for a willow the wish. In other words, everyone was completely satisfied and therefore there was no chance of anyone's asking for anything. The people were absorbed in great affection for the king. Since the affection was always expanding, they were not inclined to ask for anything.
डल चल रहा है क्लास. So in the Vrishabhadev's kingdom, no one is there with unhappiness. Everyone is satisfied, completely satisfied. No complaints. This is. Write the question. From all the different purports of this chapter, describe the ideal characteristics of a king. From all the purports of this chapter, characteristics of a ideal king. Yeah. Ten marks. 10. No big. You summarize it and nicely write it. A ideal king, how he should. You can learn from the Vrishabhadev. How? That means he is setting example. So in offer the all ashrams, he went to Gurukul. He's learned his sense control. He's having respect for the elders. And after that, he entered into the Grihastha life. So he conducted his family without any attachment. How he ruled, everyone is happy in his kingdom. And he was following. So not only just Bharata Maharaj, even Prabhupada is also adding so many points. So king has to follow Brahmanas and king is administering Vaishya and Sudras. So this is the system. So like this, all the points, you write it. The ideal, so king, what kind of characteristics he should have? Yes? Because we need Varnashrama college. We need to find the ideal characteristics of ideal king. Then only we can train. Administrator means he should be like that. Okay, last. स कदाचिद् अटमानो भगवान् ऋषभो ब्रह्मा वर्तगतो ब्रह्मर्षि प्रवरसभायां प्रजानां निशमन्तीनाम् आत्मजान् अवहितात्मनः प्रश्रय प्रणयभर सुयन्त्रितानप्युपशिक्षा यन्निति होवाच. पीताम्बर चैतन्य प्रभु. Last.
Once, while touring the world, the Lord Rishabdev, the Supreme Lord, reached a place known as a Brahmavat. There was a great conference of the learned Brahmanas at that place, and all the king's sons attentively heard the instructions of the Brahmanas there. At that assembly, within the hearing of the citizens, Rishabdev instructed his sons, although they were already very well behaved, devoted, and qualified. He instructed them so that in the future they could rule the world very perfectly. Thus he spoke as follows.
So Rishabhadev reached to the Brahmavarta place, and there is a big conference. In that conference, many Brahmanas and also kings. All the king's sons, that means all 100 sons, they came there. At that assembly, within the hearing of citizens, Rishabhadev instructed his sons. So big conference, Brahmanas are giving different lessons. So all the sons of Rishabhadev also came, and Rishabhadev also gave the teachings there. So Rishabhadev gave his teachings. So for the future purpose, like Bhishmadev gave, same way. The instruction of Rishabhadev to his sons are very valuable if one wants to live peacefully within this world, which is full of miseries. In the next chapter, Rishabhadev gives his sons these valuable instructions. Then the Bhaktivinoda purports of the 5th canto, 4th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Characteristics of Rishabhadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now we'll be starting the 5th chapter, Lord Rishabhadev's teachings to his sons. Okay. Rishabha Uvacha नायं देहो देहभाजामृलोके। बोलिए सब लोग। कष्टान् कामान् अर्हते विड्भुजां ये, तपो दिव्यं पुत्रकायेन सत्वम् सुध्येद्यस्मात् ब्रह्म सौख्यं त्वनन्तम्। Again, Krishna Prabhu. Again.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Lord Rishabhadev told his sons, "My dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hawks that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and one attains this position. He attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever."
Yeah. So the summary of this chapter is, Sridhar Swami is saying like this. What he's saying? Panchame moksha dharmopadeshaihi putran anuशासनम uktam paramahamsam cha tasya dvandva titikshaya. So in this chapter we are going to see moksha dharmopadesh. Like in the Mahabharata you are having moksha dharma parva. Same way here. So Rishabhadev, he set example for brahmachari life, he set example for grihastha life, and he is now setting example for sannyasis, so renounced people, how they should, and for liberation one how should practice. So he is explaining, and also he is showing his life as example. So and he is now teaching the various dharmas, so for a person who wants to get liberation. So then after that, he is also explaining here the Paramahamsa position, which is beyond the dualities. That also he is going to describe in this chapter. So Rishabhadev is saying what in the first sloka, what he is saying? Nayam deho deha bhajam ruloke. Ahara nidra bhayamaitanam cha. The same sloka actually. It's similar to that. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying like this. So, tatra bhakti yoge pravartayitum prathamam manusya dehasya purushartha sadhanatvam vishaya bhoga anauchityam aha. This human body is meant for, is a vehicle. Human body is like a vehicle, is like a boat. Human body is a boat, and this boat is in where? In the material ocean. Material world is like a samsara sagaram, is a ocean. And who is the captain of this boat? Guru is the captain of this boat. And for this, who is the passenger? You are the passenger. And you are sitting in this boat. You should use this boat for the liberation, actually, for going out from this samsara saga. And what is the favorable winds? Favorable winds from the Supreme Law. Favorable winds are compared as instructions of the Krishna, Supreme Lord. Instructions of the Krishna are the favorable winds. So using this boat, one has to cross over this material ocean. And this is not meant for the sense gratification. So that's why here, Manushya Dehasya Purushartha Sadhanatvam. Manushya Deha, human body, is meant for the achieving the Purusharthas. What are that? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Not for the Vishaya Bhoga, Aunachit. That Vishaya Bhoga. That means this human body is not meant for the material sense gratification. So here it is said, this human body is not meant for the material enjoyment. Nayam deha dehabajam ruloke kastan kaman arhate. This body is not meant for the desires, material desires, for enjoying the material desires. Like Aushit, so Yoshit Darshana Sparshanadin. Here Kaman means what is taken? Seeing the beautiful woman, touching the beautiful human, and so on. So this human body is not meant for having the our relation with the woman, for seeing the woman and for the touching the woman, and so on. So narhate. This human body is not meant for this. Why? Why it is not meant for? Why this body is not meant for the sex? This body is meant for what? You have to travel on this body to cross this material ocean. This is meant for that. But this is not meant for the sex. Because vid bhujamapi ye sante, even for, that's a pig. Pig also is having the same. Pig also is having the body. It is also doing the sex. And you are also having the body and you are also doing the sex. Then is there any difference? If this much only you are doing, is there any difference between the pig body and the human body? No difference. Pig is eating stool. Even it is, you can more enjoyment you can do in the pig body. Because pig eats the stool. In the stool, there is a lot of phosphorus will be there. And calcium. Phosphorus. So by this, you can get the more strength to do sex. Actually, in that way, if you use this body for the sex life, so who is winning? Who is a winner? Pig body is a winner, actually. Better have to have pig body, yes. Why this human body? क्यों human body? Pig body ले लो तब तो मजा आएगा और भी. Pig can do more than one time in a day. Sparrow can do even within minutes few times. Because it is eating the stones. Sparrow, what they eat? Sparrow only, na? Power pigeon, sorry. Pigeons, they eat stones. And they have even a lot of calcium and phosphorus. And they can do even more sex. Yes. You are defeated by pig. Yes, we are defeated by pig or not? Pig is having more enjoyment. If our body is meant for only sex. So that's why here Rishabhadev is saying, Bache, mera putra, mera priya putra, this human body is not meant for sex. Kastan kaman na arhate. Because even a pig can do that. So if pig body can do that, then what is the difference between human body and pig body? Kamarhatve manshudeha sukara dehayoho tulyatva tapatte. Actually, Yasuna Chakatakur is saying that if only having this kind of material desire, then pig and human bodies both are same. But actually we can say pig body is even better, I can say. Then we will be considering ourselves as lesser than the pigs. Because they have more enjoyment. So next, tena sukara dehadibihi yanna labhyate tadeva manushya dehena labdam yataniyam. So that's why if you want to be better than the pig, you have to do something which is not possible in the pig body and which is possible only in the human body. What is that? That is tapaha. Tapaha. Austerity. Tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam suddyedyasman brahma saukyam tu anantam. So that's why, my dear son, using this human body, you should do tapas. Tapas you should do. It's not meant for sex. Okay. Tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam suddye. But tapas, what is this tapas? Even the trees are doing the tapas. That means standing in the rain without any effect, standing in the even a hot summer without any, so hilna dulna nahi, kuch nahi. That means without any shaking. So trees also doing the tapas. So what is the difference between the humans and trees? If tapas is the only the difference, if you say, then humans are becoming like trees. One may say like this or not. Tacha anarha anahara varsha atapasahanadikam rukshadinam vartate iti. So then what is the difference between the trees and human beings? If tapas is the higher than the, so pigs are not doing the tapas, but we are doing the tapas. But tapas is done by the trees also. Then what is the difference between trees and human body? The tapas, whatever is done by the human body, is divyam. Divyam. That means aprakrutam, bhagavas sambandhitam, sambandhim, sambandhi. This tapas, whatever human beings are doing, that tapas is in relation with the Lord. We are doing tapas, we are doing the Ekadasi Vrata, tapas, not taking any grains is also tapas. So, but every day morning, waking up with complete bath and coming is also tapas we are doing. Yes. So this is we are doing for what? That means bearing the pain. We are doing for the pleasing the Lord. But trees are also bearing the pain. So are they doing for the pleasure of the Lord? No. So that's why that tapas is not divyam, but the tapas done by the human beings is divyam. This is the difference. Yes. Listen. So, he putrakaha anukampayam kan sattvam antahkaranam. Okay, anyways. See in the purport. We will read the purport. Prabhupada, what he's saying. In this verse, Lord Rishabhadev tells his sons about the importance of human life. The word Dehabhak refers to anyone who accepts the material body, but the living entity who is awarded the human form must act differently from animals. So this is, he said, animals, that point we discussed. Actually, one announcement, 3 o'clock on-site students. So they have one meeting about what? Boat festival is led by our His Grace Dutartma Prabhu. So you please, all of you stay here and have a discussion with him thoroughly. So how, what, when, where it will be done, he will be discussing with all of you. Okay. Okay, everything he will discuss. Whoever is not knowing, they will also come to know. Yes. After the program, he will be meeting. He will be giving the distributing the sweets for everyone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dhritatma Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So same thing we have seen in the purports also. So Prabhupada is saying that human life is not meant for foolishly, so wasting for sense gratification, but it is meant for the bhakti. So yan maithunadi gruhamedi sukam hi tucham. Rishabhadev clearly states that human life is not meant for this kind of existence. Next. Mahatsevayam dvaramahurvimuktes tamo dvaram yoshitam sangi sangam Mahantaste samachitta prashanta vimanyava surda sadavo ye. Translation Bhavagrahi Prabhu. So already dispersed.
No, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes.
Prabhu, I am unable to look at the
Yeah.
message text. Prabhu.
Radha Gordhan Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They were devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas.
So here we are going to see in this sloka, this human body is meant for progress or so digress. If you want to progress, for that also it is useful. If you want to fall down, so for that also it can help you. Bhavati iti tayoh karanam. It is a cause for both fall down or so upliftment. So in this, we have seen two types of sadhus. Mahassevayam dvaramahur vimuktehe tamodvaram yoshitam sangisanga. These are all important sloka, na? So you have to write the questions also. So you can easily write. I will ask this sloka also. Please write. Is there? Okay. Is it right? If it is there, also you can filter it then. This handbook is prepared now. Take it. Handbook is there already. The questions already there. So editing is there. Some little editing. I was waiting for him. Anyway, I can send the two parts are there. Okay. So here what? So write the text. SB 5.5.1 and explain it based upon VCT commentary. So how many marks? 5 marks. Okay. Next in the second sloka, what he is saying? Mahassevayam. Dwara mahur vimuktehe tamodhvaram yoshitam sangisam. So this human body is cause for the liberation also. If you associate with the woman in this body, then what will happen? It will lead you to hell. So mahantaha te samuchittaha prashantaha. So that's why sadhus, what they do? So they will be using this body to get the liberation. So here sadhus are two types. So Jiva Goswami is also saying, and also Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying. So vimuktehe vividha muktaha vimanvaya vimuktehe vividha muktehe brahma saukyam hi anantam. In the previous sloka brahma saukyam anantam is said. So from this anantam iti purvoktehe brahma saukyam cha nirvishesha savishesha brahma sambandhi tvena dvaividyam muktirapi saijyam bhaktimat parshadatvam cha iti dvividha. So you have to understand here in this, what you should understand, this in the previous sloka Brahma Saukyam is said or not? Brahma Saukyam is two types. That's related to the Nirvishesha Brahman, related to the Savishesha Brahman. So related to the Nirvishesha Brahman is Saijam, related to the Savishesha Brahman is Parshadattvam. So like this, Brahma Saukyam is Two types. Write the question. Brahma Saukyam is how many types and what are those? तब दिमाग में जाएगा ये. 2 marks, 2 marks. So Brahma Saukyam is 2 types. Then sadhus also 2 types. That means Jnanis and Bhaktas. Brahma Saukyam is 2 types. What is that? Saijya Mukti and second one is Parshadattvam. So who you are getting the Saijya Mukti? Sadhus who are getting the Saijya Mukti. Who, what do we call them? We call them as sadhus who are getting Brahma Saukyam. Saijyam. Jnanis, अरे कैसे आते हैं यार, रोज सुनते हैं फिर भी. So absolute truth is realized in 2 ways, Nirvishesha or other Savishesha. So Nirvishesha Brahman, who is that means merging into the Nirvishesha Brahman, who is doing that? That's Jnanis. And Parshadattvam, that is Bhaktas. थोड़ा एनर्जी डाउन हो गया मेरा, पता नहीं. So sadhus also 2 types. Who are worshipping Nirvishesha Brahman, that means Brahmopasakaha, worshippers of Brahman. Second one, Savishesha Brahman, worshippers of Savishesha Brahman. Those are all Bhagavad-upasakaha. Like this, you can have 2 types of sadhus. And whatever qualities are set, what are Samachittaha, Prashantaha, Vimanyavaha, Suhrudaha, Sadavaha. These characteristics are there with the Brahmopasakas. Also, those are possible with the Bhagavad-upasakas. Both you can apply this. Samachittaha means Abheda Darshinaha. Samachittaha means what? Abheda Darshinaha. Whoever is not seeing the Veda. चले जा रहे हैं. क्या टाइमिंग है आपका? कुछ टाइमिंग नहीं, चार्जिंग के लिए आया ना? नहीं, सच बोलो तुम. चार्जिंग के लिए आया वो. मुझे पता है. You cannot cheat me in your life. You always try to cheat me, but you'll fail. मिल जाता है तुरंत, क्योंकि तुम कैसे चलता है अभी से मैं बचपन से देख रहा हूँ ना, इजीली आगे में भी पता चल जाएगा. ओके ओके. Samachittaha. How to apply this for the Brahmopasakas and how to apply for the Bhagavad-upasakas? Tell me. Samachittaha means equipoised. Brahmavadis, they are equipoised because they see everywhere Nirvishesh Chinmatra Satta. And devotees also Samachittaha. Why? They see everywhere Ishta Devata. Devotees, they see everywhere Ishta Devata. They see everything in the connection of the Lord. So that means everything is everybody is what? Is a house of the Ishta Devata. Is Adhisthana of the Ishta Devata. Like that he see. That means everything is as one. He sees in this way, one. That means he sees in the ant also Ishta Devata. He sees in the dog also Ishta Devata. So that's why ant and dog, they are becoming the Adhisthana. It's a resting place for this, their Ishta Devata. In that way, they are same. Next one is what? Prashantaha. Prashantaha. So that means Prashamadi Yuktaha. What is the Prashantaha? They are always controlled, peaceful actually. Prashanta means peaceful. Brahmavadi is also peaceful, devotee is also peaceful. Next one, Surdaha, Sadavaha, Vimanyavaha. Like this, you can also apply all this. Sadavaha means Paradosha Agrahinaha. What is the meaning of sadhu? They don't see Paradosha. Devotees also don't see. Why Gunadosha they don't see? Who will see Gunadosha? Gunadosha will be seen by the whoever not reached the Ananya Bhakti. They will see the Gunadosha. And also whoever is in the path of Jnana, they also don't see the Gunadosha. Gunadosha, seeing Gunadosha is meant for only, recommended for only for whom? For the, in this block, whoever are there, for them Gunadosha is recommended. Karmis and whoever didn't get the full Shraddha, this is Ananya Bhakti. In this, who entered into the Jnana, and this is Bhakti. Like the sadhus are two types. So Bhakti Marga and Jnana Marga, Jnana. So like this two. Here also we are seeing two. And this is absolute truth. This is realized by these people as Nirvishesha Brahman. And these people realize it as Savishesha. Savishesha Brahman. And they will become at Parshada. And they Kaivalyam. Merging, oneness they will get. They will get Kaivalyam, they will get Parshada. Okay. These people also Sadavaha. Sadavaha means don't see Guna and Dosha. These people also don't see Guna and Dosha. Jnanis, what they do? They don't want to see any dosha. Like, what is their consciousness? Initially, there is, before, that means, in the beginning, who is there? Nirvishesha Brahman is there. And at the ending also, Nirvishesha Brahman only remains. In between, we are seeing the varietiness. This varietiness. Whatever this varietiness is there in between only. Beginning is Nirvishesha Brahman, ending is also Nirvishesha Brahman, but in between we are seeing varietiness means this is because of Maya. So that's why they don't want to see this varietiness. They want to see everything as Brahman only. So that's why they don't see any Guna Dosha. And in the case of the devotees, Sadavaha, so their goal is what? They do practice in this path. They do practice of 24 hours. What? Direct devotion. Direct devotion they practice. That all devotional acts and objectives, everything is transcendental. So that's why there is no Gunadosha Buddhi. There is no Gunadosha Buddhi. Gunadosha is there in where? In the, when there are modes, when there is effect of modes. That is the possible in the case of karmis and also karma mishra bhaktas. Karma and gnana mishra bhaktas. We should see Gunadosha. Because if you don't see Gunadosha, then we will be in the danger actually. Then you will see everything as one. So even bad association also has a good association if you, then we will be. Because we didn't reach the Ananya Bhakti. So that's why. But whoever is doing the Ananya Bhakti, they will always, their consciousness is always in 24 hours doing the direct devotion. So that's why they don't see. But we should see to progress that.
Here, as we say, Goda dosa, they don't see. Dosh agrahana, paradosh agrahana.
Yes.
So how to know who are madhyamadikari and doing Ananda Bhakti and preaching? So they see gun dosa in the sense for correcting what a service as a service. So how to, whether they see or don't see, and if they see, the how should be taken?
Initially, so actually Gunadosha, they see with respect to like this, Ishvara Tadadineshu Balisha Dvishatsu. So Gunadosha means what? So based upon the modes, the Sattva-guna is superior and Tamo-guna is inferior. And one should leave the Rajas and Tamas and try to be situated in the Sattva and try to practice Bhakti. And slowly, gradually, he should fully practice Bhakti. So this is a case. In this case, they don't see any Gunadosha. But so for the sake of preaching, so they are seeing that means someone is doing devotion and someone is not doing the devotion. So that they are doing out of compassion actually. And that is not the Guna dosha. That's not dosha. That's, you cannot say it's seeing the dosha, because that is not meant for the criticizing them. So anyway, once they progress, when they become premi bhaktas, so then they will see only the.
You said in this Nirvishesvadi, beginning and end, they say Nirvishes. The beginning means what? Where the point can say the Nirvishes?
This is beginning detachment.
Okay.
And they got full detachment from the material pleasure, and then they are entered into this. And what else is there? Sadavaha. Next, Vimanyavaha. Ityadi Visheshana Gunatrayam Ubhayatra. Okay. Yeva Mayishe Kruta Sauhradarda Janeshu Deham Paravartikeshu Gruheshu Jayatma Jarati Matsu Napriti Yukta Yavadartas Chaloke. Chaitanya.
Those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. They are not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders. Nor are they attached to wives, children, friends, or wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep the body and soul together.
Okay, now we have seen in the second sloka, sadhus are two types. One is Nirvishesha Brahmopasakas, second is Bhagavadopasakas. So among these two, who is superior? Bhagavadopasakas. That is being said here. Mayishe, that means Ishe means in the Savishesha form. Krata Sauhridartaha Janeshu Dehambaradishu. So those who are worshipping the Savishesha form, those devotees, they are superior to the Brahmopasakas. Why? My Ishe Krutam Sauhridam Pritireva Arthaha Purusha. That means for them, the love The love for Supreme Lord is only the Purushartha, is the final goal of their life. So that's why they are superior to the first. In the Brahmopasaka, in the Jnanis and Bhaktas, what is the difference? Jnanis, they want only the liberation from the material pain, no service. But the devotees, the Preeti is the goal. Preeti towards the Lord is the goal. And next, they don't have any attachment for the wife, family, that means, and also children, so and so. Generally, family members, they are all interested in the livelihood. Yes, they are all interested in the for those who are not interested in such activities. So whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or wants to associate with the Supreme Personality Godhead, one should render service to Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of woman and sex, the path to hell is wide open. Yes. Here, Dehambaranam, that means Bhojana Panadhyasaktanam Yavarta or Katha. So, Va Tabireva Ye Divyanti Teshu Janeshu. Family, wife, children, all they are all interested in what? In Khana, Pina, Sona. In these matters, they are interested. Naya ghar kaha banaya jaye, new house, and having this stable livelihood, nice enjoyment. This is the goal of the family members. They are interested in this. But whoever is Mahatma, that's devotee, he is not interested in these things. He will never show any interest for them. Rati dhanam nanutarihi kimartam teshu gruheshu tishtanti. So then why he is staying in that house? If he is not interested in wife and family members, those who are so much interested in the livelihood and how to maintain life and so on so. So then why he is staying in the house? Why? Because Yavad bireva dhanadibihi arthaha mat pada sevanadhyatmiga bhaktir bhavet. Because whatever the dravya, whatever money is there in that house, using that he wants to do the service to the Lord. So for that sake, he is staying. For that sake, he is staying. No other reason. Only for the purpose of service he is staying. Otherwise, he can leave that place. Put the human body is like junction. One may either take the path of liberation or path of leading to hellish condition. How one can take these paths is described herein. On the path of liberation, one associates with the Mahatmas, and one on the path of bondage, one associates with those attached to sense gratification and movement. There are two types of Mahatmas, the impersonalist and devotees. Although their ultimate goal is different, the process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and other seeks happiness in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Saukyam. Brahman means spiritual or eternal, both impersonal. What is it? In any case, it is advised that one become perfect. Asasanga Tyaga. To remain unattached to modes material nature, one should avoid associating with those who are asat, materialist. There are two kinds of materialist. One is attached to woman and sense gratification. The other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with the Mahatmas, and our negative side is avoidance of non-devotees and woman hunters. So we should associate sadhus, and also we should reject the association of non-devotees or the womanizers, woman hunters. Oh, the question. So householder should earn money for doing the devotional activities. Yes, householder should lead such a life that he gets the full opportunity to hear and chant. He should worship the deity at home, observe festivals, invite friends, and give them prasada. Yes, householder should earn money for this purpose, not for sense gratification. So, what are the different types of sadhus? And describe their qualities. Okay. Next, next question is this. Okay, devotees. Okay, actually. Nunam brahmattah kurute vikarma yadindriya pritaya aprunoti na sadhu manyeyata atmanoyam asanna pikleshada asadeha. Chaitanya.
When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. Although the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, it I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another.
Yes. What is this? Fourth sloka, na this. तमोद्वारात् योषित संग संगा देहिनः एव अधः पातः स्याद् इति तं दर्शयति सोचेति न नूनम्. So associating the humanizers, humanenters is cause to enter into the hell. So that is tam so darshayati shochati cha nunamiti. That is shown here. So nunam brahmattah kurute vikarma yadindriya pritaya aprunoti na sadhu manye yatha atmano yam asannapi kleshada asadeha. Why this is? Vikarma. Vikarma means stealing others' wife. This is a sinful actually. So by that vikarma, what will happen? Yatah vikarmanah prachi. So previously we did sin. Because of that, we got this body. And now we are going to do once again sin. Then what will happen? You'll be once again getting the sinful body. And this will be keep on continuing. Then how it is useful? What is this actually? Because of previous bad karma, we got this, which is giving all the time pain. Is giving pain or not? You are getting enjoyment or pain with this body? Pain. and you are doing once again sin, then what will happen? You'll get the same body which will give more and more pains. So is it proper? Na sadhu manye. I don't think it is right. Urashbhadev is saying it's not right. Then what? Jivasya asa vastutah na vartamanopi. So actually, atmanah jivasya asannapi. In fact, this body is not belong to the you. This body belong to whom? This body belong to the Supreme Lord. Asango hyayam purusha. So that's why one should not be using this body for the sense gratification. One should use it for the service of the Lord. It's not yours. So that is the meaning. Asango hyayam purusha. The living entity is not really connected with this material world, but due to his tendency to enjoy the material senses, he is put into the material condition. One should perfect his life by associating with devotees. Next. Parabhavasthavada bodha jato yavanna jignasata atma tattvam yavat kriyastavadidam mano vai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. Chaitanya, pado.
As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body.
Yeah, from the previous sloka, what we are understanding, one should not do the vikarma by using this body. That is causing for the, once again, body which gives more and more pains. So what? By using this body, shall I do the punya karma? Is it meant for that? It's not meant for the, so for doing punya karma also. It's not meant for the punya karma also. Because why? Parabhavaha tavad parabhavaha. Even it is not meant for punya karma, because that is also cause for the samsara. Tasyapi samsara hetutvena klesha hetutva. Tasmat punya papayoho nirasakam. You should not do either punya or not papa. Then what you should do? What you should do? You should practice gnana. Jignasata atma tattvam. What you should do? Jignasata atma tattvam. One should inquire about the atma tattvam. Okay. One should inquire about the atma tattvam. And he is telling about the mind here. About the mind, manaha. About mind. What is that? Mind is always under the control of karma. Karma paratantriam tadeva jivasya bandha. Sacha agnana krutha tavadeva bhavati yavanna jignas. Okay, anyway, this come later. Okay, next. So, as long as Jivatma is controlled by the karma, then Jivatma is having the attachment with this material world. That bondage will be there. This is Jivatma is binded by the karma because of what? Because of Agnanaha. So till the time you have Agnana, so you will be bounded by the karma. Karma. This actually. Jivatma is having avidya. Because of this avidya, avidya is nothing but it is comprised of karma. And then because of it is getting the ahankara. And so ahankara and so mana buddhi, mind and mana and buddhi, mind and intelligence. And then next senses. So indriyas. senses, and what? Sense objects. This is the scene. Because of avidya, Jivatma is covered by the avidya. So that's why this Jivatma is attached, is tied with this subtle body, Mana Buddhi Ahankara. So who is tying? Ahankara is tying. Ahankara is a knot, is a knot between this Jivatma and this Mana Buddhi, Antakarana. Ahankara is a knot. So now what? This is avidya. How to? Then you have to get the vidya. By getting the vidya, this avidya will be finished. Then this atma is freed from the avidya. Then it will be liberated. This is the point. Till the time we have avidya, we are always doing the various kinds of the karmas, being influenced by the modes and attached with that. By that karma, we are binded to this material world. So that's why to destroy that bondage, you should what? You should get the vidya. Using the vidya, you should destroy this avidya. Means because of this avidya only, this body is, this jivatma is tied with this subtle body using the ahankara. So once you get the vidya, so you can cut this ahankara, and then avidya will be finished and jivatma is freed. Jivatma is freed. Okay. So that's why yavan jignasata atma tattvam. Here Rishabhadev is saying that one should inquire about the atma tattvam, should not show interest in the doing the pious activities. You should inquire about the atma tattvam. Jnanagninah sarvakarmani bhasmasat kuruter junah ityukte. Yavat gnanam nodbhave tavat karmani nanashyanti. Yavat kriyaha punya papa karmani syuh tavadidam manohi karmatmakam karma swabhavameva syat. Yena karmatmakena manasa. That means what? If you don't get the gnanam, means vidya, then avidya will be there. Then mind will be karmatmakam. Mind will be the karmatmakam. That means fully filled with the material fruitive results, fruitive activities. Mind is fully filled with the fruitive activities. If you don't have gnanam, then avidya will be there. Then mind will be fully karmatmakam, fruitive activities, filled with the fruitive activities. Manohi karmatmakam karma swabhavam eva. So the nature of the mind depends upon karma. Whatever karma you did in previous life, that kind of mind is formed. So karmatmakam, karma swabhavam. Okay. Chalo. Enough. चलिए सिर में दर्द आ रहा है मुझे सो से. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.